we are back at Jack King's now, done with a week of traveling. We're going to go right back to traveling later today, but we're going to talk about why you need to stop thinking your back is fragile. It's like any other muscle. Our back has muscles, right? It's made out of different numerous muscles and muscle groups, and in order to grow those muscles, you have to train under heavier and heavier load. An issue I've seen as of late is a lot of people kind of get their spine and their back muscles confused in terms of they feel low back pain, and there's a difference between soreness, pain, all that. So understand how your body kind of reacts, but are you able to distinguish what is soreness and what is straight just pain, right? Because our spine goes kind of straight down the middle of our back. Our back muscles are in different places throughout our back. You have your upper back muscles, mid back, low back, all that, and some that go all the way from top to the bottom. Well, what tends to happen is people avoid training their back because they're afraid of hurting it. So they'll avoid deadlifts, back extensions, and they'll kind of let their back go. But see, that's where the issues start. Just like if you avoid training legs, those muscles are going to atrophy, become weaker, and overall, that's going to put you at a higher risk of giving you back pain. Now, I'm not saying after every deadlift session, you should be having intense back pain. Like your first couple sessions, you're probably going to be a little bit more sore than usual in terms of if you hadn't been deadlifting. Now, if it's happening every session, then maybe it's time to look at your form, see what can be changed differently, and kind of look up exactly the type of form that would be best for you. And obviously everyone's body is different, everyone's form is going to look slightly different, but let's make sure that we're doing it correctly and in a really good manner, so all of our muscles are engaged and doing what we need them to. But there's things we can supplement in order to make our back stronger for either deadlift or just normal everyday life. So what exercises can we exactly supplement with, right? Well, anything that's going to strengthen our glutes, our hamstrings, and our quads, right? Because those are all connected to our back and can help take that pressure off, right? If we're having a lot of back pain, we should look at our glutes and see what we can do to strengthen them. Same thing with all the other muscles I just stated. Now, if you want to get stronger specifically at deadlifts, what you may want to add to your regimen is stiff-legged deadlifts, kettlebell swings, leg press, any type of supplemental movement that is going to help strengthen your lower body, right? But also your upper body too. Rows, lat pull downs, anything like that. But now, if we go into gear, what you can do is get a belt. See, a lot of people's issue is though, they'll immediately get a belt and try and go to the tightest setting possible and be like, oh, I'm ready to go. But if you can see here, I can barely brace into the belt. This is giving not a lot of room for my core to expand out. So then I'm weakening myself because my core isn't rightfully engaged. So what I do is I come out about 2 notches on the SBD belt. And so it's a lot looser, right? So this is me without bracing, right? I can stick my whole hand. Then I expand, I'm crushing my hand. So I'm giving myself enough room to expand my core 360, not just in the front, right? We got to think about our core expanding in the back. And so it's a lot looser. But see, if I come here and I crank it as much as I can, I can't even put my hand in there. So then my core can't expand, right? And I'm limiting my range of motion. I'm hurting myself and getting in position for my lifts.
My butt hurts really bad.
That's another lift you can do. Hip thrusts to strengthen those glutes and those hamstrings. And thinking a belt's going to help your low back pain is the wrong way to go about it. It's not. Because we got to make sure our form is looking good and feeling good before we add a belt. As soon as you add a belt, that's just sticking a band-aid on the situation. It's like with knee sleeves. Like stiff knee sleeve, a tight belt aren't going to help your lifts if you don't know how to execute those lifts. Just like any person can get into the driver's seat of an F1 car, doesn't mean they know how to drive it. With all that being said, just take time, study your own lifts, get a coach, let them see how you lift, let them critique you, work together in order to be better, rather than thinking you know exactly everything that you're doing, but also realize that's going to take time. Just like with anything, it takes practice. Like you're not going to come in and week 1, month 1, year 1, be perfect at every lift and exactly how to execute it. Like it takes time. Like me in sumo, like I'm not the best at sumo, and I understand it. Like I'm much better conventionally, but I'm doing sumo because I want to get better at it, but also to add it as another piece in my arsenal rather than just hoping and praying on conventional. But, you know, I understand, like, I don't expect to be perfect on sumo in any way, shape, or form anytime soon. And I just like seeing my progression week to week. Understand your back is not fragile. It will take time to develop it just like any other muscle, except it's made out of multiple muscles, your back is. But whether or not, like, your arms has multiple muscles, legs have multiple muscles, it's the same thing, right? It's just going to take time. So don't be afraid of it. As long as you don't have a lot of chronic pain, we're a-okay. Week to week you may have some soreness on some days, and that's all right, because just like if you're doing bicep curls really hard, you're going to have soreness in your biceps, right? So that's something to consider. And if you have any very severe mobility impairing pain, then it may be time to go consider consulting a physician and get some work done, just see what's going on and go from there. But as always, guys, I love you. Bye.
Yeah. I don't know if she can stand anymore. I don't know if she can stand anymore. She doesn't think I'm a man anymore. No, she doesn't think I'm a man anymore. No, no. No, no.